check the piston inside the housing of my diverter valve to see that these myths are true about these getting stuck every so often. So there's a new diverter valve coming to the market in the form of a Go Faster Bits Diverter Valve Plus Low Profile. In this video I'll explain the full reason behind why you'd fit this diverter valve to your car, and also explain why it's not a direct contender to the older version. How's it going? I'm Kev, in this North Coast workshop you'll find content on car modification and DIY. In today's video what we're doing is covering the news behind this newly released low profile version of the Go Faster Bits diverter valve. Now I have the older one fitted to my Cupra R here, so what we do is direct comparison between the older version and this newer low profile version as well. Also, what we're doing in the video later on is checking on the condition of the piston in my Go Faster Bits diverter valve. It's known sometimes to have issues. I have checked it before in a previous video last year, and that's what I do, a quick recap to make sure it's still moving freely, because people do report sometimes these pistons and these Go Faster Bits diverter valves stick or become seized inside the housing. So a quick check. I haven't looked at it yet, I promise you. It's totally new to me to see how condition it's in, but hopefully it's moving freely, and as the car is performing perfectly just now, I imagine it is moving no bother at all. Now I did do a poll a few weeks ago which I left in the community tab on YouTube for you, the viewers, to have a vote to say your thoughts on the new diverter valve that Go Faster Bits are releasing, or if you thought the older one was better, or if you thought the original equipment, revision G, was better on these cars, or if you had no idea at all about diverter valves, which if it is the case, then click this video up here and it actually has a segment in there that explains the full meaning behind diverter valves, what they do in the engines, and how they might affect the car itself. So before we get stuck into the full news behind this diverter valve, I want a quick 1 minute of your time just to go through a few things on the car I've done in the past few weeks to keep you updated, and also an update to a video that I've done previously that had an issue and it's now been resolved. So if you're new to the channel, just stick around, you can watch this. If it's something you're interested in, maybe click subscribe as well to catch more content in future. So this video is happening because the last video was a vinyl wrap roof video which has gone wrong, which is why the stuff's still sitting here, and because the roof vinyl wrap is on the floor. But I'll try again. I managed to get a new wing mirror motor, but it's way faster than this one. I fit a brand new Goodyear Eagle F1 asymmetric 6s in my car, but at the same time I hit a pothole really badly and knackered my alloy. Rust, and stone chips means hopefully getting 2 new arches, side skirts, and get a respray for the car in May. I fitted a new under tray to my car. Last one got binned by accident. This was only 30 quid. I finally got new DRL bulbs, LED bulbs from Little Lighting, which I'll leave linked down below in the description, and they are super bright as you can see. Oof. I've also fitted these new PP3D badges on the back and on the front. And I changed the oil twice in the same service to make it super clean. And I happened to lose a wee bit of gearbox oil because numbnuts here forgot to tighten up the drain plug really tight, so I've topped it up now and now it's all sorted. There's no way I managed to chop that up into a 1 minute edit. So now let's get started on these diverter valves. Now this is from the AKS Tuning website. I've got this information and these prices as well. So they're based in the UK. They might deliver overseas, I'm not too sure. But yeah, I'll leave a link down below in the description for their website. Now the older diverter valve, the GFB Diverter Valve Plus from a few years ago, this is what I've got fitted to my car currently. And what it does is it uses a factory solenoid from your own diverter valves on the car already, and it adds it on to its own housing and piston setup. Now, claim benefits of this diverter valve setup is you should be able to get a sharper throttle response from it. You also get a faster recovery, whether you've done a gear shift or you've briefly lifted the throttle. You also should find an improvement in boost holding as well. And it's also, because of the way it's set up and the way it's made, it should have an unrivaled longevity, meaning it's also backed up by a full lifetime warranty from Go Faster Bits themselves. Now the new Go Faster Bits diverter valve, T9381, the older version being the T9351, the only difference in its actual title is the low profile part. This basically describes the way it looks because it's a lower profile overall with its included solenoid now, so it includes its own solenoid, it's got its own housing and its own piston as well. Now here's why Go Faster Bits Diverter Valve Low Profile is not a contender to replace the older model before. Go Faster Bits, they aren't marketing this as a brand new replacement or upgrade for the old one at all. They're offering this version to the market for 2 main reasons. So first one being that if you wanted to upgrade to the older version of Diverter Valve Plus, but your original solenoid and diverter valve in the car was faulty, so they couldn't be used with this new setup, you'd then have to purchase a new original diverter valve for the car and then add that to your new Go Faster Bits diverter valve. And in total between the two prices, that would be about 180 quid. Therefore, going for the new all-in-one setup from Go Faster Bits, which is 150 quid, will give you an instant cash saving. Or the second reason being, you could want to upgrade your standard working diverter valve to a Go Faster Bits version, but the older version, when all assembled together, was taking up too much space under the bonnet and wouldn't actually fit properly. I'll leave a list on screen just now of a few cars that applies to, but this new low profile version tends to fit a lot better in its application, so this makes sense then to go for this version instead. Now, I'm not totally disregarding the Revision G diverter valve you can get for these cars. This comes highly recommended by Artec, based in the UK, VAG specialists, basically experts in the TFSI engine, and they highly recommended this diverter valve. Now, there has been a few reports online by people saying that these have even leaked after a while, after a few months, after a couple of years. The piston has cracked around the rubber seals and it's then ended up leaking and losing boost. But the majority of the time, these things do perform really well on these engines. Now, without being biased, because obviously I've got a Go Faster Bits diverter valve fitted to my car and it is working perfectly, I think the main reason there's so many problems with certain Go Faster Bit diverter valves out there just now is because a lot of these fake ones are getting in the mix as well. This one is unbranded, there's no Go Faster Bits logos on it at all, but it is quoting the same Go Faster Bits part number in here, and you can see it's about a third of the price, which is kind of too good to be true. We've also got another one here from AliExpress, down to 2841. Again, no visible branding, but a very, very similar design. And then finally, we've got one here that was found on eBay, and this is 2286. Again, quoting this T9351 item code as well. But if there is certain ones that you see that look too good to be true in price, they should be about 110, 115 pound or so, then I would stay well clear. Go Faster Bits actually have a video where they compare a very, very good looking fake to one of their own branded ones, and they show differences in boxes, difference in tolerances between the two items as well, and all the other things as well to look out for as well. So I'll leave a link down below for that video. Check that out to make sure if you are looking for one of these units, you buy a genuine real one from Go Faster Bits and not one of these knockoff fakes. So overall, what do I think of these new diverter valves that Go Faster Bits have released? Well, it makes sense to have it in certain applications where you are short of space under the bonnet, or that you have got a faulty solenoid on your old diverter valve and need a whole new combined unit for the Go Faster Bits version. And this makes sense, obviously, like I said, to save money and buy it all in one. I nearly actually purchased this new unit to think it was an upgrade to the one I've got in the car just now. Luckily, looking into it, I found out that it wasn't at all, and it makes sense for me just to leave the same setup on the car as it is. If my solenoid even happened to go faulty in the future, it makes sense, rather than paying 150 quid for this unit, just to go and get Revision G diverter valve for 70 quid and pop that solenoid back onto the car. And I'm hoping as well that these new, more complex, low profile versions, they'll be hard to copy and you won't find as many fakes online. Now, before we go, what we'll do quickly is check the piston inside the housing of my diverter valve to make sure it's still moving nice and freely. Peace of mind for myself, or maybe to see that these myths are true about these getting stuck every so often and that potentially catching it just in time. So because my car's got the KO4 turbo, the diverter valve sitting right in front of the engine bay here, really easy access. Just remove the 3 bolts and the wee multi-plug as well. Then I was just taking care to make sure I kept it all together as I transferred it across to the worktop. Remove the solenoid off the back of it. And then if we look closer at the housing here and the piston inside, and just gently pushing it, you can see that it's moving, no bother at all. It's not getting stuck, it's returning to its position. And yeah, there's definitely no resistance here at all. It's still working perfectly inside the housing. Now, there was a bit of oil residue inside the housing as well, but this just tends to happen. You'll find in intercooler pipes a bit of oil. Nothing to worry about, it's not excessive, it's just residue left on the housing itself. So it's good to see that's moving nice and freely inside the housing still, and obviously the car is boosting perfectly as well, so I'm going to pop this back on the car tonight with no issues at all. Now, you might have noticed in the background there's some engine oil sitting here. That's actually from my last video in the channel, which I'll leave up here in the corner. I highly recommend you watch that before you buy any more engine oil for your car. Also, don't forget to give the thumbs up button a click, and also hit subscribe down below to catch more videos from the channel in future. I'm off to bed now, it's 11:30. I've got to get work in 6 hours I think, so yeah, I'll catch you later. Cheers!